What is up, everyone? Volathis here, and Final Fantasy XIV Heaven's Ward. We got the patch notes for 3.4 tonight. I was actually getting ready to go to bed, but the notes were released, so I'm already up currently. So let's go ahead and just hop right into it, and I'll probably render this video and go to bed. Alright, so for some reason, these are also the actual patch notes. It says it doesn't say preliminary when I clicked on it like they usually do. So the first thing we're doing with new main scenario quest as always. So we have Promise Kept, Shadow of the First, decent amount of question marks here. And then, of course, moving forward, we go into the Alexander Creator, the final raid of Alexander, in which case we're going to be fighting Alexander. There's a few quests involved with that. Most of these are going to be for each floor, and then the last one will probably be here is for unlocking the Savage, or maybe this is the Savage one. It says we talked to the Wandering Minstrel, so that'll be the final one there. And then the next is the Warring Triad, where we fight the Goddess here. We're also getting new side story quests, the Scholasticate, I probably butchered that, and Hildebrand. I actually haven't done the Hildebrand. I believe they've restarted up. I haven't gotten my hands on it, so that's something else. They're going to be making some adjustments to fates. Looks like the fate requirement for the quest Trial of Braves has been changed from obtaining gold medal only completion of the fate. Well, this is for that. And then elegant tombstones required to create enhanced animal weapons have been changed from tombstones of law to lore. And then the new side story, we're getting the new hard dungeon for the Great Gabal Library hard, and should have been listed here. We're also supposed to get, I can't remember the dungeon name off the top of my head. It's the Ixal dungeon, and we're unlocking duels. Which I found out later is not instance. It's actually you go to the Wolf Den's Pier, and apparently there's a section dedicated to duels, which I also found out you can also queue up for dungeons and stuff like that. And really all you have to do to cancel duels is just run out of the area, and it takes you out of that. Found that out basically because of Mr. Happy. And then next we have the Grand Company quest. This, of course, is adding the squadrons. And if I'm not mistaken, we're also getting new ranks. And then they're adjusting the location of NPCs in the Moogle Beast Tribe quest from Lax to Max, apparently. And new items can be purchased from the Amaja, Ixal, Vanu Beast Tribe. Then we're getting adjustments to the treasure maps. They're just basically updating the tombstones to fit the new ones. And then Aquapolis as well is going to be adjusted to drop the newer tombstones as well, which it looks like we're getting elegant tombstones of scripture. And then Grand Company is that you can now be promoted, like I was saying earlier. It looks like we may only be going up one rank. It says you can get promoted to First Lieutenant, and once promoted, your company sale cap will increase from 50,000 to 80,000. So I'm assuming part of this also, if paving the way forward, is also the higher ranks are going to require more seals than just the original 50,000. There's some more gear that you get here based on which rank you are, and the complementary warfare defense. I'm wondering if these are either weapons or perhaps these are for your squadron. And players can now take command of soldiers in their respective Grand Companies with adventure squadrons after assembling them, and you get rewards. And this is the location of each quest for it, which is linked, of course, to whichever Grand Company you are in. And then you can recruit them. And it has a little notification here: recruit squadron cannot be formed until you have at least 4 members. And they're also adding objectives to the challenge log. Here's what some of the enlistment papers look like. Looks pretty basic here, so You have the name, the race and gender. Far East, I don't think that's what kind of faction you are, basically. Does have what class they are. Looks like they may just only be classes. I wonder if that means there will be Dark Knight or Astrologian or Machinist NPCs. And then this here is obviously your power. I'm guessing if you're still a mage class, you still have that for power, maybe, or maybe the 24 is that. The 12 obviously there is a heart. You can reason for enlistment. You can question, postpone, or dismiss. So I'm guessing the question, you ask them more. Potential recruits require. I can't understand that word at this. Your interest. Select the question when viewing their enlistment paper to call them into the box and view their profile. If they are to your satisfaction, you can recruit them to join. Barracks has room for 8 soldiers. If you've reached this limit and wish to enlist new recruits, you must first discharge and recruit. So you can have store up to 8 recruits, but the actual squadron will only be 4. And you can train them. They must first undertake introductory mission, city patrol. After successful completing, they may undertake training courses across the focus of which attribute. Training courses increase overall physical, mental, and tactical abilities. The focus on which attribute is improved varies from course to course, and you're free to concentrate on areas in which you wish your squadron to excel. So we have an example here. So we have, once again, power, health, and maybe that's, I'm wondering, physical, maybe that's mental, and then tactical. And all these are classes. I'm not seeing any jobs. Each training course takes an hour to complete. When the training course is complete, all recruits present in the box will receive experience, and the squadron overall's attribute will increase. Current, if they're training, you can abort, view their actual profiles, deploy on missions. When your squadron is aptly prepared, speak with the squadron sergeant to deploy them on a mission. Be advised that deploying your squadron requires an expenditure of company seals. So that's another reason why we're getting this boost, is we need company seals to send them out, which costs increasing as mission difficulty increases. So not only that, but the higher difficulty missions we have, the higher those are going to cost. I'm wondering if at some point one of those will cost 80,000. Highly doubt it. Furthermore, each mission has a minimum level requirement. At least one member of the squadron must meet the requirements to proceed. So in theory, you can carry some of your squadron members. And then you can review the squadron's mission report. If it's a failure, they will receive half the basic reward. If it's a success, they receive experience points, and there's also a chance they will exhibit a preference for certain squadron composition. This is known as squadron chemistry, and it can affect the outcome of your missions. So keep in mind other questions. Squadron chemistry looks like it's going to be adjusted here. The exploratory voyages, I believe they're talking about the airships. Those are being adjusted. And then we have the housing. We're going to be getting the apartments here. And they can all be customized the same way that you do customize your houses. So there's the Mist, which is the topmast. Lavender Beds has Lily Hills, and the Goblet has the Sultana's Breath. And an apartment building is available in every ward in the 3 districts, with a second apartment building available in each subdivision. So basically, regardless, either way, you only have one apartment there. Each apartment building, though, contains a lobby where the player can speak with a receptionist, as well as a vendor and material supplier. NPCs, players can enter apartments directly from the building entrance or via a door inside the lobby. Before purchasing an apartment, player must first obtain level 50 with one class. Furthermore, you must obtain the rank of second lieutenant. I'm pretty sure these are the exact same requirements if you have to get an FC room, a free company room. And each building can have up to 90 tenants, with each room costing 500,000 gil. They said basically, anyways, this is basically your free company room, but if you want to get an apartment, I mean, the advantages are about the same. With this one, you have the lobby versus the free company. You have the free company house that you can interact with your free company. I'm probably going to be getting an apartment, even though I do have a house. And from what we've heard, they're going to be expanding that anyways. I like the idea of a lobby. I haven't been too active, but I would like to, you know, chill in the lobby, chat with people and stuff like that. And then furnishings, you can have up to 50, just like you can in your free company house. And you're able to use all housing specific items such as flower pots, the equestrian, the armor, crystal bell summoning, and the NPCs. Placing a furnishing in an apartment will bind it to you, preventing further trade or sale. So we can use housing items in there. The other thing is all the apartment buildings have a chocobo stable. It's public, shared by all tenants. Here, players can train their chocobos and change the color and assist in so you can also train other tenants' chocobos as well. You don't have to just train your own. They're just adding new furnishing items. I'm believing it's the leaves here or the tree. Might even be that kind of. It's not a stable though, right? Sorry, my cursor's not here, but looks like there's a combination of like a stable on the left-hand side and the tree. Pretty sure the rocks are an item. The 2 dolls, which I can't remember what the dungeon. I really should. And they're doing. Here are the trophies that you got from doing the season. I haven't done the PvP season. Something maybe I should get into at some point. So those are the trophies. You have the Lone Wolf one as well as the Pack Wolf one. So if you want a bigger trophy, go solo. And then of course we have the aquariums. You can only have one per state, and all of them have. The one I'm confused about was if they. Obviously, they're not going to have the same capacity, at least not to my knowledge. So there's just small, medium, and large. I believe this image here that says aquarium settings, that is a large. So you can put in an accessory, which we've seen in the private demo and stuff. Is like you can put some rocks or some seaweed or some plants, obviously. And then you, regardless of, so it does diagram out the fish sizes. Small is 1, mediums 2, large 4, extra large is 7. Regardless of how you map this out, you can only put in a total of 4 at once. So you, as long as you're not over the capacity limit, you can put them all in for the 7. Apparently we have to even put water in our aquarium. Before placing fish in aquarium, players must choose to fill the tank with either fresh water or salt water, which will dictate the types of fish that can be placed in the aquarium. Please be advised that in order to change the water type, any fish in the tank must be removed. So, I mean, this is like even farther role playing, but I think it's fine by me. So you do have to decide if you're going to put in fresh water or salt water on top of that, and then go from there with the fish you're going to put in. And then you have the accessories that you can choose to change it. Has a list of fish. Open the fish list around the aquarium setting interface to view the list of all possible fish that you can be placed in there. And it looks like it just shows the ones that you have handy, it looks like, or maybe these are just the ones that we're going to have for now. They said they're going to be adding it later. This is just set out here. So actually it looks like I was wrong about the sizes. There's actually 4 sizes. So there's the single fish 1, 2 fish, 3 fish, 4 fish. So probably, I don't know if you want to go extra small, small, medium, or you can look at it as there's small, medium, large, extra large. I guess that's probably easier to go with the size there. Oh, it says right here which ones. I have no idea why I didn't notice that earlier. Anyways, so here's the current list of fish we have available and what sizes they are. It even has the category. I mean, I could list all these off, but I highly recommend, if you're considering aquariums, to look at this list. New or question rules have been added. a tooltip to display the titles of songs that appear in the cutoff. They're also adding a playlist function to the orchestration, so you don't have to have one song looping. Playlists cannot be accessed from the ends, so it sounds like this is only in player housing or player rooms. And it'll be displayed there for you. So you have playback mode. You can either do play all, shuffle, repeat. Basic standard music plays here. The title of the songs that you have yet to acquire will now be displayed in the orchestration song list. And apparently they removed an all tab, so those are in different categories. Looks like some of the older stuff we used to have, actually it looks like all the, I would like to say higher difficulty items, but that's not exact. Basically the primal stuff, the raid stuff, it looks like here, will not be destroyed when you move in now. I mean, the Gordian chair, the blazing inferno wall lamp. So now you can keep those items. You don't have to go back and go, oh great, I have to go reform the item. You're not going to obviously sell them, but and then the following additions have been made to gardening. There's going to be a new soil added, which is a potting soil. It's inexpensive. It grants no bonus to garden, but it can be purchased from vendors. The time required to harvest plants from the falling seeds have been reduced for the firefight. So these are all the potted plants. So it's been reduced. So I guess shorter time. A new seed has been added for flower pots. You can get it from vendors. Players can now purchase a materia melter permit for their estates. For any of you who are behind in your materia melting, technically I probably am now, because some of my crafters aren't 50. A compatible level 6 ethereal wheel stand has been added, processing the same capabilities of the normal level 6. Oh, it's a compact level 6. Okay. So if that ethereal wheel has been taking up too much room, they've added a compact one. It's the same thing. Oh, and you can just exchange it for the compact ones. I'm not sure if you have to put anything extra, but to me it sounds like if you want to get rid of it, trade it in for something smaller, you can. We're getting new, I like to call these housing transmogs. We're getting chocobo themed here. It looks very nice. I probably won't be using it, but it's a very nice touch here. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's Company Workshop. That's right. Free company houses are the only ones that can use these. That was my mistake. Wonder if my free company will be doing that. Next we have the Manderville Gold Saucer. So now there is a battle hall in the Triple Triad. It is an instance area where you can challenge each other, and it may be accessed from any location by the duty finder. If you haven't done It Could Happen to You, I'm pretty sure that's what you need just to unlock the Triple Triad. So you don't really need to worry about that if you already have it unlocked. It shows an example of the matching here. The match rules are decided by the participants, and a maximum of only 2 match rules can be in effect. So the battle halls only last for 4 hours, and it starts with the first person to enter the hall, and you can't challenge when 5 minutes are left. New Triple Triad cards are being added. It looks like, I don't know if we've had a Y'shtola and Thancred in the past, but we do now. New cards have been added to the bronze. I'm assuming it's probably like the 1-2 stars we have there. New opponents for Triple Triad have been added. The Moogle card and Maw Goblin card are now classified as Beastman type. I didn't know there was type on the cards, but something new. Players can now register to play Lord of Dominion by the duty finder. So I guess it's not exactly, they don't have a battle hall dedicated to that, but I kind of see the point of that. So there's now duty finder categories. So now there's the Gold Saucer one. Let's see here. It says RP. I think it's ranked points, or I don't think it's role playing. Opponents For Lord of Dominion tournaments now include players with the same data sender. The initial cost to play Lords of Dominion has been removed, and you can now purchase up to 3 jumbo cacto pot tickets per week, starting at 100, then 150, and 200. Summoning bells have been placed next to the Gold Saucer Ethereorite and the race counter in the Chocobo stable, because I don't think there was any summon bells to begin with. New prizes available with MGP. I think it's just the Chocobo barding here. And then we have the Wondrous Tales. Here we speak with an NPC in Ildishire, which you get a journal, and it resets every week on Tuesday like everything else. You have to complete the objectives to obtain seals, which are basically these stickers over here. Oh, no, the seals are... Okay. No, you can only receive 1 seal per objective, so the stickers here. I'm guessing on the left-hand side is the ones you need to complete. You can hand in the journal, so you have the reward list based on what you get. To my knowledge, this was supposed to be random, so you can get up to 3 rewards, and then you can get, and depending on which one you get your reward. Second chance: when you complete an objective with 1 or more party members who are new to the duty, receive one second chance point. You can receive up to 9 points, which can be used as described below. So once you've unlocked Wondrous Tales, it's possible to receive a second chance. You will only receive 1 second chance per objective, even if there's more than 1 person, and the second chance can only be obtained from duties that offer bonuses when someone's new to it. The actions here, you can either shuffle, which shuffles the position of all the seals, only available when current seal count is between 3 and 7, so you can't do it if you already have all your 9. And then retry: restore the status of a completed duty to incomplete while rendering the status of an incomplete to complete. So if there's a particular one you don't want to do this week, you can shuffle that. And then they added these categories for the challenge log. For those, Triple Trumbull in the Battle Hall, MBG and Gil. New hairstyles, new emotes. I want to say that's facepalm, but it's not exactly. That's crying. That's like snickering. And then the doze emotes can now be used to sleep on furniture in the following locations. You can use them in beds. You can use them on beach beds and Ghost of the Soul. It sounds like my voice is getting tired again. The prey emote can be used while sitting on the ground, sitting in chairs, or while riding. They changed the pose emote for male Highlanders. Using Huzzah, battle stance, or victories while your weapon is drawn will automatically sheath your weapon when the emote animation ends. New structures will be adding to Ildishire. They're changing some of the NPCs in there. I'm going to be checking out Ildishire. It looks like I don't recognize the difference off the bat. It probably just means more complete. Although I feel like the walls and stuff like that are more complete than they've ever been. Battle system. Definitely have to go over these. Sort of increased potency. Weapon delays will now affect damage output. Dark Knight the Unleash now binds enemies in PvP, and auto attack will stop when this action is used. Machinist on reload now remains in effect until all ammunition I cannot talk at this hour is used. Thaumaturge and Black Mage Blizzard heavy duration has been reduced. PvP changes there. Sleep, more PvP. It's been reduced from 12 to 8. Freeze, the bind has been reduced from 12 to 8. Conjure and White Mage Stone, the heavy duration has been lowered to 8. A lot of changes here for Astrologian. Nocturnal Sect increases healing potency to 10% now instead of the 5. Aspected Benefect. The amount of damage nullified by the barrier has been increased by 40%. Potency of the magic incapacitated barrier in PvP has been changed to 65% of HP restored. Expected Helios, the amount of damage nullified from the barrier added in that has gone up from 120 to 150. So overall, Nocturna will heal more. The barriers will also, you will get more barriers out of the effect has been changed to grant a 15% chance on your next benefactor will be a critical heal. I don't know what it was before. Heavy status from 12 to 8. Redraw has been lowered to 30 seconds. Draw has been increased from 15 to 30. Royal Road has been extended from 15 yards to 20. Balance increased the damage of a single target has been changed from 10 to 20%. And the increased damage of a group has been increased from 5 to 10. This will not apply to PvP though. And the damage reduction on Boil has been increased from 10 to 20. The damage reduction for the group is 5 to 10. Once again, does not affect PvP. Celestial Opposition increases the duration effects of casts by self and party members has been increased from 5 to 10. Limit breaks have been adjusted. Players revived using the following limit break actions will no longer be inflicted with weakness. Furthermore, players already suffering from weakness will be cured of that. Limit break name: Pulse of Life, Astral Stasis, and Angel Feathers. So now, this is actually a big change. So now, if I'm not mistaken, rank 3 limit break for healers does not give you weakness anymore, and if you had weakness, it will remove it. That is going to make using a rank 3 limit break a lot stronger, and it's going to be a lot more viable. And oh no, we're going to wipe. Even if we use it, everyone's going to have weakness, and we got to make sure they don't die again. Now, that doesn't mean I'm telling you guys to get cocky just because you don't have the weakness, but that is going to change things up a bit. Let's see here. And then some more PvP actions. For Black Mage Nightwing's duration has been reduced from 8 to 6. Enhanced is only from 12, was reduced from 12 to 8. The weapon throw effect duration has been reduced from 9 to 8. Time required to switch PvP presets has been reduced. Furthermore, the progression is displayed when switching presets. Auto attack will continue to damage targets in melee range regardless of the direction the player is facing. Functionality of setting automatically face target when using action under control settings in the character configuration interface has been adjusted. But previously, this would only turn a character to face their target when using an action. In addition to this, using an action will now activate the face. So as long as the player does not move or manually turn the character, they will continue facing their target after using an action. And the keybind and text command for face target can no longer be activated while moving. So this was the other dungeon I talked about earlier, the Xelotol. I probably butchered that. And looks like item requirement of 2010. I don't know why I just said 2010. It's 210. And then same for that. Doesn't talk about the items. Creator. This was what I was worried about, and my fears are confirmed. My Black Mage's eye level is lacking, and the item level requirement is for 230. I'm actually at 224, so I got to get that eye level up. And then the entry requirements for that. And then once again, we're going to be getting the rewards. So once again, if you just do the normal, Creator will not give you any items. It gives you the gears to be traded in. The conversion chart is right here. It looks like it's been the same as it always has been. So 1 bolt for 1 accessory, 2 pedals for feet, as well as 2 cranks for hands, 2 lenses for head, 1 chain for waist, 4 shafts for body, 4 springs for legs, and then players receive a gear upon completing. Going to be exchanged for micro. Okay, so the old Alexander gear you got for doing The Burn of the Sun, you can be exchanged for micro tombstones, whatever that means. Oh, micro tombstones are used in the purchase of new weapons. Alexander Savage has the eye levels here. 245 is about the average you want. And then talks about going to the Wandering Mistral. The rewards in that, you do get treasure coffers in this. They will gear, and of course you do get a manifesto in each area, which can be exchanged for gear, depending on which one you're in. Furthermore, let's see here. I don't think it mentions, but they still have the support system. Once you clear Alexander, you're locked out of that. If you decide to help other people, you can, but you start limiting their loot. I don't remember the exact. I know the second you add someone else who's already cleared, you're already down a treasure chest, and after a certain point, you're not going to get any. But you should still get the manifestos. The people that cleared should not get those. And the conversion chart is here for what each manifesto is worth. And then for Midas, the weekly entrance restriction on Savage has been removed, as well as the rewards from the coffers have been removed. Players can now directly access it any area, and it is accessible in the Duty Finder. And then they're going to be adjusting Savage, which, as we all know, is they're probably going to be lowered it. In the Cuff of the Sun, Savage Blaster's Mind Blast will no longer afflict players with the damage down and confused status. Alexander Arm of the Sun for Savage, players will no longer be silenced when placed in jail. The potency of physical vulnerability down inflicted by engine oil has been reduced. Emperor of the Sun, Blaster's Mind Blast attack will no longer afflict players with damage down and confused. Weeping City of Mach has been adjusted. There's no weekly restriction on the chest from the coffers, and the weekly restriction on obtaining the pennies has been removed as well. And then we're going to get the new trial, which is with the Goddess. Both normal and extreme has the requirements here. It's 220 just to get into the normal, and 235 is about the average they're saying here for Savage. And players will receive Echo in the event. Doesn't say, for the following trials. So the Final Steps of Fate, as well as the extreme version of that. Action reset timers will be reset in the event of all party members are incapacitated during a trial or raid. So now in raid, if you do wipe, you don't have to worry about, guys, I need you to wait, my cooldowns aren't done. They're going to reset for you. When accessing shortcuts or returning from being incapacitated after an instance is completed, players will be moved to the exit in the following duties. So basically it looks like almost all the dungeons and stuff like that, you will be moved there. Obviously we have the new tombstones, we have scriptures which have been added. They had the 450 cap as always. As always. Sorry, my voice seems to be going out. The weekly limitation on Allegan Tombstones of Lore has been removed. Esoterics you can't get anymore. You should be able to trade those in, and Law, all of Law will also be removed from the game. So don't forget to turn those in. They're doing adjustments to the Duty Finder as well. Certain duties will be awarded. They're replacing Esoterics as first, and then now you get Lore instead. The penalty count for abandoning duties is now shared by PvP and PvE. And you're no longer required to adhere to any eye level requirement if you're a full party. Display has been adjusted when registering to undertake both duties in PvE and PvP matches. The display of matching info in the duty stats will be prioritized. PvE comes first, PvP second. And then of course the shuffle of dungeons. The new dungeons become our expert. The old ones will go to down to the 60 to join. Which also means, you know, as it lists down here, all the tombstones are going to be lowered down. Although it looks like we're going to be getting more. We're getting more scripture from Duty Roulette this time. It's interesting. and that's the only one that seems to be affected. All the other ones will be lowered to adjust and match that. Actually, it looks like most of it's just they're replacing what they are. And then some other stuff, duties have been added to the mentor, which is all the new stuff here. Oh, it looks like the Alexanders have been added too. I didn't know that. And then trials have been added to duty at trials. And then raid finders have been added. The old ones here, the savage ones. And then this is the duty finder here. Tombstones for defeating elite marks have been adjusted. They've just really adjusted what you get out of them. They've just changed their positions. And then we have the Palace of Dead being adjusted. Uncovering the accursed hoard. Players must remain stationary at the location where the treasure is buried for a fixed period of time for the coffer to be unearthed. Before it can be discovered, players must first use the Pomodoro of Intuition to reveal its location on the map. Interface has been displayed here. A tally of party KOs will now be displayed when viewing save data. And then they have a select here. I actually haven't tried any of them. The save UI will now reflect changes in party composition when a player has disconnected before the party leaves the instance. And following additions and adjustments have been made to Stone, Sea, and Sky. They're adding new ones to reflect the new dungeons. Diadem here has been adjusted. Diadem hunting grounds easy, and add hunting grounds when exploring. Role restrictions when matching parties to create. And then they updated those items. And then gear obtained has been changed. In addition to item level 180 and 210, you can now get 235 in accordance. Dueling has been implemented. You can now test your skills. You do have to go to the Wolf Den's Pier, like I said earlier, and it's just that section. And then you issue when an opponent, so you right click on them in that section, you request the duel, they receive this, and then they can accept or decline. Unique icon when you're dueling, and then your opponent will be highlighted in red. Custom matches have been added, allowing players to freely begin battles in the feast between two parties. You can set the rules or same as regular. There's a chat during the custom matches, and you can register for them. Spectator mode has been added. When used to spectate custom matches, once initiated, spectators will be unable to see their own characters. Instead, utilize a dedicated interface. You're going to be operating camera. You can control the camera. Looks like here you have some keys here. Has the stats and stuff like that, both the opponents and everything. It's actually a very nice feature for match watching. I don't know if they mention anything about exiting. Notification appears at the end of the match in the feast for the following. It shows your ranking, promotion qualifiers available, changes in names displayed in character. We have new items added here. I could read all these, but this is a lot of items to go through. A lot of high mithrite. That looks like new Ironworks gear, and I'm not sure. I think this is dungeon gear. I don't think that's the raid gear. Actually, I think it might be the raid gear. I'm not too sure. Someone correct me on which one's which. They've adjusted some items here. I don't know what they looked like before, so they changed their icons. Some help tests. Adjustments that looks like they've made crafting gold resin. I don't recognize these are crafting things that looks like requirements to get items here have been reduced. Following changes have been made. Number of clan marks have been reduced for the old Illuminati stuff. Has been has been reduced from 6 to 1, 4 to 1. Okay, and we have some other stuff here. The seals of those have been halved basically for most. Seals for exchange items 170 has been reduced as well. Once again, it looks like it's mostly halved. New inventory has been added to the recompose if you want the legacy stuff here. Let's see here. Then looks like I've been added to Calamity Salvager as well. Some more items here. Falling items can be sold and desynthesized. So a lot of this is the old stuff. Below, current stuff obviously can't be. Falling items are now easier to obtain by gathering. I'm not sure what that means by that. For this, it's the soils and the seeds. New big fish have been added to Ishgard. It's now easier to catch a gnome fish using the purse, web, spider, or stonefind nymph. Players can no longer obtain treasure maps when using the action snagging in the following areas. I don't know where any of these areas are off the top of my head. Material melting will explain the maximum parameters, so now you know how much you're going to get out of the actual materia. And then available materia enhancements. You can get new Chocobo, we saw that. New mount, I think that's from Sephiroth. We have new minions. And then new achievements here. Full 3.4, a lot of these count to high level full party achievements. I think this is towards the mounts. Possibly. For the tank mounts. I'm not entirely sure. Some more settings here with the cameras and stuff like that. Looks, oh, we have with filters now. So any of you who like taking pictures in Final Fantasy XIV, a lot more options there. Players can now pause character motions while using group pose. You can temporarily hide UI elements during cutscenes. That'll be good. And then you can toggle off the UI of the border zones or the plot lands. The indicator of north on the minimap has been adjusted. It looks like it stands out a bit more. There's the cooldown feature. It looks like this will appear. Counts down for you, hit start. A role-playing status has been added. In order which gear and accessories are displayed in the armory chest of character and retainer attribute window market order have been adjusted to match the NPC shopping list. The order left and right rings have been reversed. I'm not exactly sure. W hotbar for those that use console or a controller have been added. And then they have the settings for that. Enables only 4 buttons. Let's see here. Emotes will now appear grayed out on the hotbar when you cannot use those. You have main commands. It tells you which level here for your additional abilities. Let's see here. So you can report the RTM, the people that are trying to get you to pay money for gil. You can report them now. Some general adjustments here. Okay. Sorry, okay. So that's the majority of it. Sorry that I was a little rushed in. This is quite a long patch notes. They're getting more. We keep getting, more and more content. Unfortunately, my throat doesn't seem to be handling this amount talking at this hour. So I do apologize about that. I'm going to try and cut out the footage. Hopefully it didn't show up. I couldn't even talk without coughing for some reason. And I keep trying to make sure I don't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment down below. What is your favorite part you're looking forward to the patch? As always, this is a raid patch. I'm going to be looking forward to the Alexander raid. And probably next after that story, there's a lot of housing stuff that came with this, a lot of PvP. In general, a lot of stuff has been added. Looking forward to all of it. And of course, if you're new, subscribe to my channel to stay updated. More videos to come. And as always, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.